You're supposed to be talking. This is the intro music.
We're just going to make that music with the synthesizer.
That's to synthesize my voice.
Now my mojo's all messed up. I don't know what's going on. We talking about important stuff today. Today we got something important. This is important stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna call you guys America.
Hello,
because
America.
Today
We're talking about American things.
we are talking about one of the most American things, the election
The president.
for the leader of our country, the leader of the free country,
The leader of the free world.
free world quotations.
Quotes, yeah, because we're all enslaved by the corporation.
Yep. So we're at the point now. We got two candidates.
Yeah.
And we got a presidential debate coming up. The first.
We've got Dick Face and Vagina Woman.
One of them has a penis. I don't believe it's on his face. And the other one is a woman who may
or may not have a vagina.
Yeah,
that's debatable.
That's her business.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you think, man? What do you think about this election coming up? It's definitely one of the more interesting elections we've had that I can remember.
I think it's just a bunch of two kids fighting.
Well,
it seems more like a high school presidential classroom president election than an election for the leader of the quote free world unquote.
Yeah, I can see that. I think a lot of that's just Trump's personality. It's kind of baiting Hillary into that same type of tit for tat exchange.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good. He's one of the master baiters.
He is.
I would say
he is a master baiter.
Yeah.
Because
But Trump gets a lot of hate, man. He gets a lot of hate, and
well, yeah, he puts out a lot of hate. You get what you give.
Well, yeah, he does have a lot of hate in his heart, a lot of hate, but at the same time, that's it. He's the candidate. He's the candidate for the Republicans. That's what they got to deal with.
Yeah.
Hillary, not so much hate, because if you hate on Hillary, well, you're sexist.
Yeah.
And if you do support Trump, you're also a sexist.
Yeah.
Which naturally means I want to get behind Trump.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of secretly hoping that if Hillary gets elected, she'll just let Bill run everything from behind the scenes.
So policy-wise, let's talk about their policy a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Immigration, obviously one of the biggest things in this election. What do you think, man? What do you think about election? What do you think about immigration? What do you think? What do you think about it? Tell me your thoughts.
What do you think, America? Or are you asking Seikenflash?
I didn't say, what do you think, America? Because I'm sure they'll let us know in the comments below. As usual, we'll fill our comments up with their
opinions, and we appreciate it. We love it. Thanks for the support. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're both pretty radical. I know Trump more radical than Hillary. Well, I don't know what the hell Hillary's thinking, to be honest, because
she doesn't say much.
She doesn't.
Or at least maybe most of the things she says just gets overshadowed by Trump's
No, she just doesn't say much. She's one of those politicians that likes to be political with her answers.
She does. I tried to find some of her policy on immigration. I couldn't find as many direct quotes. The only thing I could find was, I'm 100% behind comprehensive immigration reform that includes a path to citizenship. Well, gee golly fuckberries. Don't we already have a goddamn path to citizenship?
Yeah.
And immigration reform, well...
What the hell does that even mean?
Yeah. All right, that doesn't even tell me if you're pro or anti. Do you want to tighten immigration?
Yeah.
Or do you want to loosen it?
Yeah, it's just a reform. That could mean anything. Well, with Trump, we know
Now
he
Trump,
just wants to ban everybody.
Trump's a little more straightforward with this shit.
Yeah.
He's like, want to restore integrity to our immigration system by prioritizing the interests of Americans first, and Americans being, I guess, what,
Legal citizens?
people who are already here, already have jobs, and also in reference to Mexican immigrants. He said they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Hide your mom, hide your sister,
Them
hide your
Mexicans
brothers.
are coming.
They're raping everybody.
The Mexicans are coming. Keep them. We gotta build a wall. They're rapists. That's terribly, terribly racist, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an actual stereotype of a Mexican rapist. Yeah, it's pretty bad
Yeah.
that he mentioned that.
That's Trump.
Now, another thing he said about Mexican immigration is they are people that shouldn't be in our country. They flow in like water.
Now, was he trying to make a joke?
Because of what, Rio Grande?
Yeah,
they're
like-
flowing in. They're flowing in just like the Rio Grande. I have no idea, and he can say the dumbest things and later just say it was sarcasm.
Yeah. And then he'll say, "No, it wasn't sarcasm."
Well,
it was.
Mostly, but not really.
Not really. I meant it, but I was joking.
So immigration, I mean, Hillary, we don't know what the fuck she wants to do. She just makes like a generic statement on that. I'm assuming she wants to make the path to citizenship easier.
Yeah.
It would have been easier for us to understand that if she would plainly state it.
What? I'm pretty sure the path to citizenship is pretty hard as it is right now.
It's incredibly hard. It's incredibly expensive too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm all behind that as far as making that path easier. Especially, I mean, people are coming here, especially across the border, coming here with nothing, and we have all these people complaining about, well, why don't you just become a legal citizen? That shit is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. The interview processes. Now,
and especially because if you're here illegally and you try to attain citizenship, and they find out you're here illegally, yeah, you risk deportation, and then you're fucked because you got to start all over again.
Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of unfair things going on with immigration right now, and I don't think we need to tighten that down, because immigration is crucial to our country. It keeps us from getting complacent, keeps the existing citizens here from becoming lazy, because hey, we got competition. Exactly. We got people coming in here competing with us for jobs, and that's a good thing. Yeah. Competition is a good thing. Because
then that makes more jobs, and that gives more people opportunities to better their lives.
Exactly. And it's what America's always been about. That's the foundation of America. So you can't suddenly just say that
you're not allowed to come to America anymore.
And also that your ideas and your values don't match up with American ideals and values, because America's ideas and values as a country is basically, we welcome you to the country. If you're here to work, if you're here to contribute to the country, that's all good. Your personal beliefs and all that's personal. Yours.
It's yours. You do that in your apartment.
Yeah. Do that with the curtains closed.
Do that just like I do.
Oh man, but that's just about enough on immigration. I mean, that's probably that's the biggest issue, really. I mean,
and especially because, I mean, because like I said, we really don't know what the hell Hillary means by reform. Is she going to make it easier? Is she going to make it harder? We don't know. But we do know she's not just blatantly saying certain groups, certain religions, certain individuals are just not allowed, period.
Yeah.
Because you can't just demonize an entire group of people like that, because we all know what happened last time someone tried to do that. Yeah.
What, are you talking about my sexism in video games videos?
What the... No.
What?
No, I'm talking about Hitler.
Oh. Okay.
What the hell?
I thought you were talking about where I was demonizing those social justice warriors.
No. Like, Hitler demonized and tried to eliminate the entire Jewish religion, and that just made all sorts of hell break loose. And Trump, he's kind of going down that same route with Muslims, which isn't cool.
Yeah, and Mexicans.
Yeah, and Mexicans, which is, I mean, it's not cool.
No.
I mean, Mexicans aren't really coming and bombing Americans, but I mean, there are a lot of drugs coming from Mexico.
There are.
You can't deny that.
There's a lot of drugs, but they're usually good drugs.
A lot of pot.
Yeah. Like I think it's mostly pot, maybe.
A lot of cocaine, which isn't.
Oh hell no!
And heroin.
But that's a separate problem.
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with immigration or building a damn wall.
Yeah,
they're going to find ways to get drugs over here.
Yeah, so I mean
They've used submarines, underground tunnels. It's a completely separate problem. It's completely separate from a person who's just trying to come over here and make a living.
Yeah.
And trying to send money back to their family so they can eat.
And not being allowed to just because he's of a certain creed.
Yeah. Guns.
Oh no.
Guns. Guns. Election. Guns.
Bullets.
For the win.
Guns.
FTW guns. Everyone loves them. They love them or love to hate them.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing I think about guns, there was a comedian that said it. I can't remember who it was. But he had a pretty good point. He's like, okay, everybody could be allowed to have guns. Just make the bullets really, really expensive.
I think Obama was actually contemplating that for a while, too.
Yeah, like, it's cool for you to have a gun.
Yeah.
But that's going to be an $1,000 bullet.
Each one of those people killing bullets you got.
Yeah,
that's gonna cost you.
That's gonna,
each human life costs a certain amount.
That would definitely curb gun violence, I think. I mean, you'd probably still be able to get your unregistered handguns off the street and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, think about it. If you're paying $3,000 a bullet, you're gonna think twice about shooting that bullet.
No. Sometimes you really just need to kill a fucker. Like, goddamn, here's my car. Give me that goddamn bullet. I'll make sure I aim really hard.
I only got enough in my bank account. I'm gonna make this shot count.
So, back to the policy on this. Guns. Trump, I mean, he's known as pro-gun. It's like, oh yeah, guns. Guns.
Yeah.
He also, instead of gun reform, he wants to expand mental health programs to keep mental health people off the streets. People who are like violently mentally ill.
You don't have to keep them off the streets, but just not let them buy a gun.
Depends on how violently mentally ill they are.
There should be checks in place.
If they have a compulsion to kill people, they don't need to be on the streets.
Well, naturally.
If one of them's like, I need to eat kidneys, lock that fucker up.
But if it's like Sling Blade.
Yeah, no, the Sling Blade type mentally ill, he needs to be on the streets because he saves people.
Yeah, he needs that social interaction, but he does need checks and balances in place, so he's not allowed to go out and buy a pistol.
Lawnmower blade.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, Trump doesn't, I don't think he says he does say what he means, though. Yeah. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
If that was a typical politician saying that, they would have just said something very generic, and we wouldn't know what the fuck they were thinking. But the point being, he's pro-gun, doesn't want to regulate guns, rather regulate dangerous people, keep dangerous people off the streets, and supposedly that handles the gun problem.
It makes sense.
It does in a way, yeah. Here's a quote from Hillary. It's the only one I could really find that was decent about guns. She says, at the very least, we need to keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers, people with serious mental challenges, terrorists, all of whom are free to go and find a gun somewhere.
Which is pretty much the same thing Trump was saying.
Yeah. And also, at the same time, it's just a generic statement.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. They're free to go buy guns somewhere. I don't care how much you tighten gun control.
You're still going to be able to...
A terrorist or a murderer
is
still free to find a gun somewhere. At the same time, it doesn't mean that there shouldn't be gun control and that we shouldn't be trying, because I could give two fucks about a gun.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to defend myself, I'm going to defend myself with everything I've learned from Dead or Alive,
and Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
I'm gonna shoot a fireball out of my hands and
yeah.
incapacitate the attacker before he has a chance to shoot a bullet at me.
Exactly. If they have a gun, I'm just going to do a Hadouken or Choryuken.
And then just wake up in the hospital the next day.
Like, who am I? Sir, you have a bullet. You have a bullet lodged in your cranium.
Yeah.
Do not attempt to speak.
Luckily, it didn't break apart into any pieces.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Well, that's what I think we all need to be relying on, though, is just a gun, man. I'm not a big gun fan. I still think
I don't like guns.
even for hunting purposes, like going out and hunting.
Use a bow.
Exactly. Make it sporting.
Yeah.
It's not very. Actually, go out there and hunt.
With the knife.
If you're gonna be a Billy Badass going
Yeah.
out there hunting, go hunt a predator and use a knife.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about a predator as in a tiger or something.
A bear.
I'm talking about that literal predator with the fucking.
With the dreadlocks.
Exactly. Go hunt that fucker. If you're gonna be a hunter, it's not sporting to go out there and
shoot a rabbit.
snipe a defenseless little rabbit. Looks like we're having some rabbit
I've got
stew
my
tonight.
Smith & Wesson 857 double barrel pump action shotgun here. Hopefully I don't get too much buckshot in this rabbit.
It's got a 15-foot spread on the pellets. Just gotta make sure I aim in the general direction.
Yeah, that's just use a bow
Exactly.
or a sword.
Now, a lot of the things that I'm gonna go ahead and call it, man. It's like a lot of the things that the I guess conspiracy people who are, and with good reason, who fear the government.
The truthers.
I don't want to say that because the truthers. No, the truthers are different. Truthers are actually that's different. But them two though, they're in the same camp. Guns is really protection from the government. That's why they want guns. That's why they want to pile up guns, which terrifies the hell out of me. It's because
Yeah, they just start calling martial law,
yeah,
and then it's gonna be us versus them.
and they'll have guns.
Yeah, and that's why we need guns.
At the same time, though, if we use the Street Fighter techniques,
We'll all be dead.
they took on Bison's army with just their fists. Use muscle power. Just take about 5 games worth of training till we're good enough.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna work out well.
Yep. Foreign policy. Let's talk about that. A little bit about foreign policy.
A little bit about foreigners
Foreign
and the policy we wanna impact on them.
foreign policy. Mivi-vu-vu shei avec-moi.
Konnichiwa desu ne. Ore no Nihongo o hanashimasu.
Nebraska.
Demo choto hanashimasu. So,
Foreign policy is it's pretty much the only thing I could find that was clearly divisive between the two was the Iran nuclear deal. It's a nuclear deal with Iran.
yeah.
One's pro, one's against. Hillary, of course, is a Democrat, and it's a policy that was set up under Obama, so she's going to be pro. And Trump wants to end the deal. The thing about it, and everything else they have is just normal things like being firm with our enemies, being friendly with our allies.
Well, duh.
Fucking bullshit platitudes, just
Yeah.
telling us. But that's one clearly divisive issue, and that's one thing you can think about when you're talking about the two candidates. The Iran nuclear deal, though, it's basically we're giving them money to
make sure they don't fuck with
blow us
nuclear
up.
shit. Yeah.
Like, all right, here's some money. You don't need that super enriched uranium. You can just use this money to buy some coal. Because if you're using it for power, you can just use this money to power your city.
Yeah, just use this money to build an electric plant.
So Trump's side of that, I guess he's seen it as a waste of money, first of all, because they're still going to enrich uranium.
Well, duh. There's still going to be some jackass over there that's like...
That country is like the largest sponsor of terrorism, and when we're funneling money into that, they are. They do sponsor. I mean, they funnel money into that.
They have
shit.
like advertisements on TV. Hey, you got a new terrorist group? Come join us here in Iran. We've got dunes that you can drive your buggies over.
It's not like that. It's not like that. Iran.
oases for you to stock up on water for your camels on long trips to bomb cities. Come, join Iran in the terrorist utopia.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say Mecca because you probably would have taken it too far there. Yeah, so that's I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know how do you go about that. I don't see.
I don't know. Well, we should definitely stop paying them money because they're still
It's
gonna.
not accomplishing anything. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone's being fooled into thinking that's accomplishing anything, and it's just money that's going. You know where it's going,
Yeah.
and it's ridiculous that we're putting money into a force that's fighting against us indirectly. We're doing it indirectly,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't be as big a deal if they weren't enriching the uranium. But they're still enriching the uranium. Everyone knows.
Stop
Everyone
goddamn
knows
enriching
that.
goddamn uranium.
They know that we know they're doing it.
We know. We can see. We can see you doing it with the satellites.
Mm-hmm.
We can fucking see you doing it.
So that's that. That's that with the policy. Last thing we're going to talk about, just talk about these quick points here. There's other issues, very important issues.
Lots of issues like taxes,
Well-
education. Actually, I do like. I mean, they always say they want to lower costs for college and stuff like that. Hopefully, Hillary
Education is always.
tries to do it. I think it's all bullshit anyway.
It is.
After graduating high school and trying to go through college, it's all just a bunch of bullshit. Just learn what you need to learn from the internet. But I digress.
I wish it was that kind of world, man. I wish you could. I wish we were more of a certification based.
Well, it's leaning more towards experience over degrees nowadays.
Because honestly, I mean, I went through and got the degree.
Yeah, and
Hell of a lot of good it's doing me.
Yeah.
And it was super easy. It's not challenging at all. It's high school part 2, all of it.
basically just costs money.
It's high school part 2 if you can avoid the
bitches
parties,
and the booze.
Exactly. If you can avoid that, you can get through just fine, which is why it took me 6 years to get through mine. But if you got the money to pay
Yeah.
for it, or if you're willing to take out the loans, which I'm paying for right now.
Me too. Which is yeah. So hopefully she can. I mean, if she can lower the cost.
Why does it have to be Hillary? Why can't it be Trump?
Because he's. I haven't heard Trump say anything really about education.
Well, you wouldn't, because it'd probably be something positive, and they only report negative things on Trump.
That's true.
Trump bashing. We used to have Bush bashers. Now we have Trump bashers.
Yeah. All right.
The end.
Yeah, that's where we'll go ahead and end this Teptalks with seikenflash. What do you guys think?
Well, who you gonna who you support?
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. That's a fucking running back, isn't it? Barry Sanders from the Detroit Lions.
No, I mean Deion Sanders. No, I mean Adam Sanders.
I think it was Bernie.
Bernie Sanders. Yeah, there you go.
Barry Yeah, hell, if he was running, I'd fucking vote for him.
Yeah.
He was a hell of a running back, and I'd trust him more than any
Oh,
of those
yeah.
presidential candidates.
Any of those Sanders I mentioned just now, I'd vote for any of them.
Yeah, even Dion with his criminal record, I'd
Yeah.
still vote for him too. At least we know what we're getting into.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so yeah, let us know. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'd vote for any of them. I'll just let the other people that support them do their thing and watch the world burn from the sidelines.
Yeah. Well, tell us what you think. This has been a Teptalks,
With seikenflash, I'm seikenflash, the mad scientist,
and I'm Emotep, the distinguished gentleman.
and we'll see you next time.
See ya.